President David Granger's 5Bs initiative, aimed at providing boats, buses, bicycles, breakfast and books to school children, has since its implementation provided easier access to school and other basic school needs to students across the country. On this episode of Government in Action, we take a look at this initiative and how communities have benefited. With education as the topmost priority of his administration, so far 10 buses, 9 boats and hundreds of bicycles have been donated in aid of easing transportation problems for school children across the country. This is just one aspect of President David Granger's push to ensure every child attends school, but it has resulted in members of the private sector and ordinary citizens joining with government to bring about tangible results for many families across Guyana. There are already reports that these donations have begun to increase school attendance and ease the financial burdens that some parents face in sending their children to school. Riverine communities within the Pomeroon-Supernam region were among the first to benefit from the initiative, having since received 3 boats that transport children to and from school along the Pomeroon River. In addressing the residents of those areas, the President said that the initiative will pay dividends so as to develop the entire region, to improve education, to improve access to jobs, and to assist the youth in participating in enterprise. He added that the initiative was introduced following a visit to the Pomeroon last year, in which he was informed of the high cost of transportation for children to get to and from school.
When I make these decisions, it's not because I'm politicking or I want to be popular. It is because people living in these communities, in Akawini and Friendship and Wakapaw, because they tell me things and I listen to them and I go back and try to use your vote to work for you. So this vote that you get here today was inspired by the residents of the Pomeroon, and it will take place, ceremonies like this will take place in the Berbice River, in the Mazaruni River, in the Essequibo River and elsewhere. But the idea came from the Pomeroon.
The initiative is also testimony to a positive relationship between the private sector and the government, as all of the donations have been made possible due to participation from corporate citizens. Following the commissioning ceremonies in Essequibo, the 5Bs initiative quickly became a widespread success, gaining momentum and more donations from the business community and allowing the administration to take the program all across the country. Earlier this year, the first 2 buses were commissioned in the Mahaica-Berbice region. At that event, the President emphasized the importance of education in eradicating poverty, adding that with equal access to education, the country will not only develop rapidly, but also prevent children from falling victim to negative activities. Later on in February, it was the residents of the East Berbice Quarantine region who benefited from a 50-seater bus as President Granger continued to spread his message of the importance of education to empowering the children to take charge of their country, becoming business owners and informed decision makers. In March, the newly commissioned town of Bartica received its first bus and 30 bicycles. There, the President added that access to education also reduces poverty and inequality.
Education is the foundation of equality. One of the reasons there's so much poverty is because there's so much inequality. And once the child of a rich man and the child of a poor man or woman have the same education, they then have a chance to be equal. And with that equality, you have a better opportunity at employment and making sure that you have a good life.
Other areas which benefited through this initiative thus far include Kurukururu, which received a bus, and the riverine communities of Moraigabay on the Mahaicony River, Barakara village in the East Berbice Quarantine region, and Linden in the Upper Demerara Berbice region, which benefited from boats. First Lady Sandra Granger has also played an active role in the program, having received a number of donations herself and participated in several commissioning ceremonies in various communities. Among the many presentations made by the First Lady include the Barima-Waini region, Lethem in the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region, Madia in the Pataro-Siparuni region, and the Mahaica-Berbice and East Berbice Quarantine regions. The First Lady has echoed the President's sentiments in promoting education, empowerment, equality, and enterprise through this initiative, and has continued to spread the importance of the efforts being made into making Guyana an education nation.
These bicycles are just a small step in that direction, because when you go to school on time, when you can get there without being stressed because you didn't get on the bus or you didn't get a car to come or you had to walk, you will be much more ready to absorb the education you are offered. And it's very important that your generation takes our country forward and moves us into the direction of progress and productivity.
Throughout the span of the initiative, Minister of Social Cohesion Ms. Amna Ali has been acknowledged in playing an integral role in the 5Bs program with regards to garnering support for donations and other important aspects of organizing. In an interview with Minister Ali, she stated that this initiative brings to life the President's dream and that it is just one of his many efforts toward empowering youth for the future through education.
Our corporate citizens, having heard the speeches made and his vision, have been coming forward with no hesitation to make contributions to this project. And so we have been able to garner contributions for boats, buses, and bicycles. And so we started with the 3Bs project. I know that now he is advancing to include books and breakfast. And we've started somewhat to deal with books in particular. And but as time unfolds, we are going to be able to see all the bees being a reality.
She stated that having consulted with areas that have since benefited from the project, the results have been promising despite minor teething problems.
The residents have welcomed the initiative. As a matter of fact, I must tell you that in some areas, they are so heartened with this project that they are seeking to put up bus sheds for those children to assemble and so on in order to get the buses. And they've been working well. We've been having, like I said, some mechanical problems, but nothing major, and we've been able to get them looked after quickly and easily. In terms of the boats and so on, I can tell you that those riverine communities are really, really happy that we've been able to put these boats in place.
The minister added that she is proud to be part of what she referred to as a project that could have only been implemented by a visionary president, and looks forward to the project spreading its wings in other parts of the country. Meanwhile, throughout the regions, students, teachers, and community members have expressed gratitude that there will be easier access getting to and from school.
The attendance was poor because most of them used to drop off, or some of them reach late to school because of transportation. Sometimes they stay a week away from school. Now, the transportation was very rough at first, before this one here. And during that time, they used to fight their way out on pontoons, open up pontoons, right? And sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's sun, and it's very rough.
I appreciate this bus and the bicycles that the president has given to us, because it's going to be so helpful for us, because the struggle that most of our parents have to send us to school every day. So this transportation will help us to get school early and every day.
I think it would help out those who cannot afford it, especially like if your parents like they're not working and stuff like that. I think it will help out those needy people.
During the commissioning of a boat in Kumaka in the Upper Demerara Berbice region, Regional Education Officer Ms. Marcia Paddy Andrews also explained the progress that has been made in other areas of the region that have received donations as well.
When we first started, we started with 22 children. We are now moving 4 to 5 children. We have since started a breakfast program for these children. And what we find is that even children from the lowest spike land is coming up for the breakfast. So the program is kind of catching on, and so enrollment and attendance has been increased.
But despite the widespread success, the 5B's initiative has also come under unfair criticism. There have been those who have called it a political gimmick. However, President Granger, on an episode of The Public Interest in April, said that the 5B's program fulfills a dire need.
I was very disappointed when people make those criticisms, and it is a public good, and I will continue to increase the amount of transport. The state is not involved, it's not going into the state's coffers. It is being done. As far as the maintenance is concerned, it's also being done at the regional level. That is why I want to see this not a central government initiative alone. I want to see the regions involved. We want to see the municipalities involved.
With the municipalities involved, the provision of transportation then becomes a project that is managed at various levels, which brings additional assurance that children get the access to the facilities.
In my charges to individual mayors, I said, get the children in school, please. Make that a priority. I've said that in Linden and Georgetown, everywhere. Make getting children in school a municipal priority. I don't want to see the children playing in the streets at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. You provide transport, you provide, bicycles or buses, and you would be surprised what a difference it makes. You give, maybe just 50 or 60 bicycles in a community, and the attendance improves. That's what we want to do. We're not promoting the image of the PNC. The PNC is a 59-year-old party. We don't have to resort to giving out bikes, to be popular. We know where our popularity is as a party. Similarly, the coalition has accepted that as a challenge. And the government too realizes that we need to do more to keep our children in schools.
Within the coming months, the 5B's initiative is slated to be taken to communities in the Essequibo Islands, West Demerara region, as well as Mabaruma in the Burima-Waini region, and communities in the Pomeroon-Supanam region. As more private sector partners come on board, the President intends to spread the initiative to even more communities in an aim to continue his dream of Guyana becoming an education nation. This is Jasmine Payne. Thank you for joining us.